Are you looking for a faster video? Well, today it's a live stream and I know you're probably looking for a really nice and tidy edited down video, but I have ways for you to make it faster. You can click that little gear on the YouTube settings right there on the video and adjust the playback speed, make me sound like a chipmunk, and it'll go a lot faster. You can also look and see if there's timestamps for this project in the description, and if you're on a desktop, you can hover over the time bar at the bottom of the screen and see if it's chunked up into chapters, and then that way you can go directly to the step you're looking for. And lastly, you can also tap on the screen on the right hand side of the video picture or on the left hand side to make the video jump ahead, forward or backward if you're on a mobile device. And you can adjust that amount in your settings so you can have complete control over how much it jumps. So if you are on a desktop, you can use the fast forward or the rewind, and that will make it go faster as well. You can also enable subtitles, and the little CC on the screen will enable closed captioning. That way, if I am a little bit harder to understand with that double playback speed, the subtitles might help you out. All right, well, I know that it's not a nice little edited video, but if you sew with me, we'll get there together and it'll be lots of fun. And now for the live stream. Happy sewing! Happy Friday! I'm having that weird microphone issue where I have to mute my microphone now until I go live. So I've never had to do that before. How's it going? Happy Friday! I'm still organizing my patterns. I got them all into the sleeves. They look really good. I love that they're consistent thickness too, you know? So if anyone's there, let me know how everything sounds since we've been having so many weird sound issues. I think it was probably an update. What's the timer on for? Here, let's reset this timer. It's not really a timer. Reset, stop. Okay, there we go. We'll just leave it at 0 today because we don't really need timestamps. I didn't even mean to play the live intro for like making things faster for folks. I'm just getting used to having those things. Oh shoot, my husband's calling me. There we go. Anyway, I hope your Friday's going good. Hope it sounds okay. So all I've done so far is personally, I think you can label these things a lot of different ways. You could just buy Avery labels and format them in Word and print them out and do all that. I'm utilizing the things I have already, and I had these labels for wine bottles from a really long time ago when my husband made wine. It was awful, by the way. Terrible wine. Maybe it's because we called it toe jam. And I've had them for since before our daughter was born. So it's a long time. So I just decided I'd print them in a solid color, the pages I had left. And so I just picked a few pastel colors, like in a rainbow. That's my plan. And then I'm going to cut them apart. Hey, Nancy. Let's see, I think I have 6 colors of this yellow. I kind of measured, they're big, so this is the size of the label. This is one label. And I'm just going to cut them up. And I'm going to keep them kind of long, because I think I have enough. And I can write on across, but then it also leaves a spot to be able to lift it up and peel it. Because if I cut them in half or cut them in smaller, and I don't have a spot to lift it and peel, it's such a pain, you know what I mean? So I cut a bunch already, and so that's my plan. But I'm also first going to organize the patterns how I want them, so I kind of have a plan of what I want to do. And I'm going to keep track of my patterns so that I can compare what I have in Trello. Sounds like a lot of you do that, so I'm going to do that as well. So I'm going to get my first bin down here. I think this will be the biggest category, but the easiest category, mainly because it's all women's wear, right? And I used one of my little magazine boxes to kind of further do it. Nice, Allison. So everything sounds okay today. I know we've been having all those weird issues. I have this bin here to kind of pretend like I'm putting them in the bin so I can kind of see how they fit. But it's a lot of patterns, you know? So let's see. I'm going to make sure I have them grouped by company because that's kind of how I want to do it. I want to group them by company. Named Amelia. Okay, the Amelia can go with this one here. Where'd that go? Right here. And then we have all the green lines. Style So Me, Wixton, Megan Nielsen, 100 Acts of Sewing, Paper Cut, Hey June. Okay, I have another. I think I had 2 named clothing, right? Because that's the Rita. Oh, and here's a. Okay. So these right here. Yeah. Okay, so this can go like this. Where's that Rita shirt dress? Just make sure my husband didn't need something. He called me. I mean, I think it depends on what you want to do, Nancy. I'm kind of the whole, I don't really want a whole nother app to keep up on, you know? Hence my Trello is a little outdated now. Okay, I have a few Sew House 7s. Because some of these are PDF and some of them are the store-bought pattern. See, like that. And now that I've been sewing home sew patterns for really consistently the last couple years or 3 years, I kind of think of these in terms of the company. So I think if you like, you can organize them by tops, bottoms, whatever, if you don't think that way. But I kind of do. And I guess I can always change it, right? So what do we have here? Okay, so yeah, so this is another deer and doe. We'll put it in between so we notice it. Another grain line. Blank Slate was the cozy slippers, right? Right? This is Melly Sews and Blank Slate, same thing, right? That's the other thing. You got to keep track of like Instagram names, company names. Megan Nielsen, I made her jeans. Put all the colette and seam work together. I'm putting all my patterns together. Quilts. These are just for my pre-printed. Yeah. Some of these are PDFs. So like this is a combo. This has the store-bought Kelly Anorak. Plus I bought the expansion of the lining, you know. I don't really care that they're mixed as far as like, see, this is PDF and this is store-bought. Because this one I did for Hearts, they sent me the PDF. So, they sent me a printout of it. So, yeah. Oh, that's true, Nancy. Oh, thanks, Nancy. Really? It does? I don't wash my hair every day. I do it every other day. So, you know, it's like rarely you'll see it down 2 days in a row. But I'm at that point of the day where I'm like, can't wait to take my barrette out. Any little thing on my head, it just bugs me. So, okay, so I think I just kind of wanted to get an idea, like, because I don't want to do like a color per company. That would be crazy making. And I just kind of want to get an idea. And do I alphabetize them, you know? I might alphabetize them by company, though. I think that would be a good plan, you know? So this is pretty good. These are pretty much most of those are all kind. There's a few more on here. And then there's like the oddballs, you know, like my quilt patterns, all my patterns, which I'd do last. Folkwear, old patterns I've had for a long time. So you only wash this once a week, Nancy? Yeah. I don't think I could do that. It feels funny to me. I go I go every other day, and then once a week I wait 3 days. And I'm a weirdo that I don't like taking showers and stuff. But I only take showers. I don't take baths or anything. I just am a weirdo. I don't like being wet. The less you know, the better, right? No. I'm not too weird, but I don't know why. Once I'm in the shower, I love it. I don't know what it is about it. So, let's see. I don't know if I'll alphabetize them within each company, because I feel like I'll be pulling them in and out. And maybe I would over time. But, see, I feel like this is my biggest category is going to be women's clothing. So, I don't have enough labels, probably, to do all the women's in one color, I should say. So, do I do a sub-genre? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's kind of tough. I may just have to have 2 colors for women's, but maybe they'll all be like, what I'm thinking is it'll be like on the edge here. And maybe I do all the women's at this height, and then I go a step down for men's, and then a step down for kids, and a step down for costume, and a step down for bags or miscellaneous, maybe in quilts. But even if I have 2 colors for women's, they just are all up here. I'm working with what I got. If you have a label maker, I think that's great. Hey, Terry, how's it going? You like you? Thank you for saying that. All right, I got a brand new Sharpie out. Isn't it always a treat to have a brand new Sharpie? I have a billion of them. I don't know why I don't treat myself more often. So I'm just going to, let's just try one. Do I do it by, I think I do it by name of thing, the garment. Kelly Anorak. Whoops. Like that. They'd be thrilled to know they got yellow. And then, right? Let's do a few. I don't know why I'm getting nervous. It's all, you know, I can do it again. All right. So we're going to do all these at the top edge. Oh, you guys got to stay on. Maybe these labels are too old. That would be a bummer. Glad I left them long, huh? You know, because you just never know. So they'll look like this. Oops. I'm gonna lose them. You know, like that. Trying to show you on my camera. I think that'll work. Looks pretty good. I'm sorry, once I finish editing a video, I always have to export it into the file format, and so my computer's making a lot of noise over there. Hopefully you're not hearing that. Carolyn PJs. Maybe it'd be good to like write a bunch and then stick them on. I'm always trying to find the efficient way, you know? Dang, I wrote big that time, didn't I? Yeah. Oh, Penny. I'm sorry I don't have a video to help. I mean, I don't know if you need that or not, but I have all the pieces cut out for a sleeve placket video. It's my next one, but I have this rule where I'm only allowed, I can't record another video before I finish editing one. You know? What is this one? Mellow. See, I'm sure some of you would probably rather print these in the computer. It wouldn't be hard, especially if you kept your patterns in the order you wrote the names down. You know, like if you wrote down all your patterns, kept them in that same order, then printed them out on the thing, then you could go and put your labels on. It wouldn't be hard to find, you know, which... otherwise you're like, where's the, you know, looking at a long list of names on a piece of labels, you know, cutting out ones in the middle. You'd want to do them in order. Oh, but I meant to start writing them down in my book here. Maybe I'll do that at the end, because that'll be really satisfying to just look at them all lined up. Yeah, I have a bunch folded up. I think this one's folded up in here. I mean, think about it this way, Penny. They're folded up in these envelopes, really small, you know. What I would recommend is if they're starting to pile up and you just can't sew them yet and you can't get to it, I hear you on that. If you can at least cut them apart, the pieces, just the pattern pieces, and then fold them up, I think that it takes up a lot less space and you don't have that huge boardy thickness of PDF paper, you know? What is this? Saffron jeans. Gosh, good thing I left so much label length, because my handwriting is not great when I'm in a hurry, and I write kind of big then. Here's the dress I was wearing the other day. Is this the most boring stream ever? Ah, okay, Penny. Nice. I didn't know she had a video. That's great. So many folks find me because of the Fairfield. I thought she didn't have any videos. That's awesome, she does. Straight from the horse's mouth, you know? Ames. Cashmerette. Maybe I shouldn't be sticking it on this. This is kind of bumpy. Whatever, right? We're learning. We're learning. Okay, we have Upton, Lennox. I have a lot of cashmerette that I have not sewn. Anyone get the Upton dress expansion? I would have liked to get it. I got her downloadable mix and match. She had like a little mix and match paper doll thing. I got that. Because I was like, maybe I'll play with this and see if I want to get the expansion. It's, oh, my video. Oh, and it's too hard because the fabric's kind of dark. You know, Penny, one of them has timestamps. Like, I've done the Fairfield twice on camera. But I think only one is... They're both short-sleeved, aren't they? Aren't they both short-sleeved? Is there a placket option on there? But what I was going to say is I have 2 videos, and one might have timestamps and one may not, but maybe one's easier to see what's happening in the video. Dang, the point just doesn't stay sharp long enough. Washington. I always get the I can never remember the name of the Alcott. I will definitely probably alphabetize these later on. It would be actually pretty easy to do though. UVW AL. There we go. No problem. I thought you did the timestamps. Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, these labels aren't sticking. Maybe I do tape. It's the cream with the black dots. Oh yeah, I use that as sample fabric a lot. It doesn't have a really good right and wrong side. Is that the problem? I don't know if it's my labels or just the material. The tape sticks pretty good though. Sometimes when you start using what you have, it ends up costing you a lot because you use up other things to make it work, like your tape. But have you ever done a big project like this and then like you go home, you're like, yay, and then you come back and you walk in, all the labels are sitting on the ground because they're peeling off or whatever. Definitely had that happen. Hey Walter, how's it going? Just organizing some more. I just figured out my labels aren't sticking though. It's kind of a womp womp. I'm going to put my labels a little lower down so I can get a little more tape on there. How are you doing, Walter? Happy Friday. I don't like the way the tape looks. You know? So, for those of you with a label maker, are you just itching to do this with your label maker now? I don't have one of those. Let go of me. I need to get better at how long this piece of tape is. Okay, so this is, I need a piece that's 3, 4, a little over 4 inches. When Rayanne and I cut things out, we would do things like, we would just mark on the table, you know, like where we needed it, like this. 1, 2, like that. And then I know, you know, I can just, except that this doesn't really work that great. What if I line up the cutter like that? There we go. Oh, cool. That's cool, Terry. Yeah, I am pretty excited about that site. Okay, I already did this one. What is a P-Touch? A label maker? And they came up. Ooh. 3D asteroids. That's pretty cool. Do you think it's the material it's sticking to, Terry? So what if I, oh, I might still run out. I was just thinking like, maybe I shouldn't have worried about one color for one category, but I could have done a color per company, or at least the same color for one company, even if 3 companies ended up being purple. You know what I mean? And then you could just kind of break them up. Oh, interesting, Terry. Interdepartmental memo envelopes. Oh. I know. I think the only thing about it, Nancy, is your handwriting. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, okay, am I okay with my handwriting? Seeing that all the time. That's kind of why I allowed the nice Sharpie. Okay, so I'm going to cut another color. I can't use that. I was going to try and use that, but I'm so used to this ruler. I'm doing them 5/8 of an inch. And I learned if I hold down the ruler up here rather than down here, I have a lot less, mistakes with it pushing away, you know, the ruler. Theoretically, you're not supposed to push on the ruler. You're supposed to just push down. The ruler guides it, right? But who does that? This is when a paper cutter would be nice, but I feel like those are slow, you know? Yeah, Allison, same actually. I don't know what your reasons are, but we're kind of a anti-plastic household. My husband works somewhere where their company is, one of their biggest platforms is ending single-use plastic. Like, my husband brought me he brought me lunch today, which was fun. Oh, this didn't work out as well this time. And he brought me a Thai iced tea, so I'm going to be up all night. And no straw, that kind of thing, so, which is fine. Like, I wasn't expecting a straw. I didn't even know he was bringing me that. It was a total surprise. And sometimes it's hard, you know, it's like you realize how dependent we've become on those things. All right, I'm gonna do a few colors. A rotary, yes, yeah, Walter. Grandma would give it to me to use because she's like, here you go, kiddo. I'm just going to cut all these up. I don't know why I'm leaving this 2 cuts left. But look at that. I'm a little odd on this one. Bummer. green. Got my green and my yellow. Yeah, exactly, Walter. But you know, the thing is, we lived in a community where there was everything in bulk. And now that's becoming more prevalent. But it was kind of a shock to move here, and we couldn't get shampoo in bulk or soap in bulk or cooking oil, soy sauce. We got everything in bulk. The only thing we didn't get in bulk was toothpaste. You know? Oh, you use silicone straws? We have metal straws with silicone tips because his company makes those. I'm just going to cut this first one off so I can see. My favorite's a glass straw, but I know that really stresses a lot of people out. They're quite strong though. Like I've dropped them before, but you know it's so nice. It's so much nicer than metal. But the silicone's not too bad. Yeah, exactly, Allison. I think like I actually stopped going to Costco because when we lived in that community, it was just really on my mind more. And it was just a community that thought about it a lot and talked about it a lot, like where does stuff go? And I started getting really stressed out at Costco because I was like, what am I going to do with all this packaging? You know, like you get one printer cartridge and it would be in this massive thing. And not to mention that packaging sliced me every time. So if I wanted Sharpies, huge packaging thing, you know, and it's like, I kind of just wish like, you know, recycling and all that wouldn't even be like this weird political issue or anything. If companies just had to figure out how to deal with waste of your package when they sold it to you, right? If they just didn't add packaging, because a lot of it doesn't really need it. I know there's cases where it's important. But, you know, like I would get customers that would be like, why don't you package your stuff in a plastic bag? And I would say, well, you know, I don't. And when they would push back, was really nice about it. I understood why they wanted it. I would say, you know, Amazon doesn't. Everything you order from Amazon doesn't come in a plastic bag. It's against their policy. And people don't realize that until they're like, oh, you're right. Every time I get something, it's just rumbling around in the box all by itself, you know? And that's their policy. And I would love to say it's an environmental reason, but it's not. But hey, it has a good impact. Hey, Sydney, how's it going? Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Allison. Their own, you know, in some places in Europe, they like bottles of beer. Those bottles get reused. They don't get recycled. They get reused. They're sterilized and reused. The technology's there. It's not new. Yeah, exactly, Nancy. It's like, I play a lot of like video games that are in like these post, you know, dystopian or they're dystopian worlds, like kind of post-apocalyptic. And I know that it's fictional. But I think it's really funny when I see like a plastic bottle kind of rolling around on the ground. It's been 30 years and I think, yep. There could be more of that. It kind of cracks me up because in one of the games I play, there's a lot of like rolls of toilet paper. You go to a college campus and just rolls of toilet paper. And I remember laughing last spring playing that game and going, you know, when the pandemic hit, and this game, you know, is after an outbreak of a virus, and so many people die, you know. And I told people, I'm like, but that's not what happens. There's plenty of toilet paper in these worlds. I know it's fake. I'm just teasing. Yeah, Allison, totally. End of day 2 off, and I have episode 0. Oh my gosh, isn't that how it goes, Sydney? Like when you're on vacation, you pack, 3 knitting projects, 1 hand sewing project, 2 books, and you do none of it. I got really good. When I would travel for work, I would bring 1 project. 1. And I would tell myself, I would like, stare at me. At the end of the show, every night, you're telling yourself right now, you're just going to want to sit in the hotel room, get room service, and relax. And you will be. But you'll also be reading all the email, answering all the orders, and all the phone calls you missed while you were on the show floor. So you're not technically relaxing, and you won't be knitting. And you won't have to manage your project and worry about where it's at and losing bits of it. So just bring 1 project that you can do in the booth. And I had to tell myself, and it was when I started doing that, it was so awesome. Because I would kind of be like, I only have 1 project. I can only work on this 1 project. And I invariably would buy the stuff to make another project and start it on the trip anyway. Because I'd be like, ooh, I'm at a show. It's like being on vacation. It's not, but, I'll get this other project while I'm here. Especially, like, I was always at shows with Brooke. And I just can't resist buying her yarn, looking up some random shawl. It wouldn't even be something I'd been, like, pining to do. I just wanted to knit with her yarn. I liked it so much. And I would get some shawl pattern and start. This 5/8 thing isn't working out like it did originally. Oh, that'll be great, Walter. That's really funny, Sydney, really? You're cutting and tracing patterns. That's awesome, Terry. I mean, for me, if my Sojo isn't around, I can't do that. That's like not the fun stuff, It's interesting what I find it always interesting what pulls me out of whatever funk I'm in. Even if it's I don't want to sweep the house or something. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, a few days later, I'm just doing it. I'm like, oh, interesting. That's what made me do it. Or, even sewing. I have those sewing funks too. Usually it's unfinished projects. So I'm either not sewing because I'm stressed out by the unfinished projects, or they get me out of the sewing funk. Because I'm like, oh, I'm going to get all that stuff done and then I'll feel great. You prep 2 patterns today. That's great. Oh, that'll be awesome. Dang, that's not... You guys have some good Sojo. All right. 2 more colors. I'm going to do 2 pages at once, and let's just hope it goes well. Oh, but they're not going to stay together, huh? Great. Oh, but the colors are going to be mixed. I don't want to accidentally start shuffling these colors. I actually looked for little bins for them too. This aggravates my shoulder so much. It's right in my neck, actually. Hence why I don't do a lot of this anymore. I like Supernatural. I never got into it, but I kind of wish I had. And I kind of like that one kid is from Gilmore Girls. Because I kind of came late to the whole Gilmore Girls thing. It took me a bit to get into it because, honestly, the mom talks so much in the first few episodes. She was kind of just overwhelming. And it's still good, but I just was like, oh, I don't know about this. And the town is so distracting. Like, what kind of town has this many people in it walking around all the time? You know, like, I thought about too many things during it. And then I watched the whole series and I really liked it. I really loved Rory. And then I was just like, what happened to all these people? Like, I knew the mom, I'd seen her in other things. And obviously, the chef in that, who's really a famous comedian, she's been in a lot of things. Like, I was like, oh, I recognize these people. But, like, I never saw, like, Rory Gilmore in anything or any of the kids. And then when I was, like, with my friend, she was watching Supernatural. I'm like, oh, that's the kid from Gilmore Girls. Okay. They went and did things. I just wasn't watching those things. And I kind of like pseudo sci-fi stuff, you know, like Supernatural. I don't like things a little... I don't like... I don't know. I like sci-fi more than like supernatural type of stuff, but the Supernatural show is pretty cool. All right, let's commence. Let's try another color that we can put in between the blue and the two, in between these with a different color. Toaster. Oh, that's right. That did kind of confuse me. I was like, wait, that's Dean. That's his name. That's Dean from Gilmore Girls. And then they were talking. I was like, I'm so confused here. Burnside Bibs. Soho House kind of hinted at having some patterns this year, and that the pandemic could have put a wrench in a bunch of their pattern plans last year, like a lot of companies have said, because there was like a shortage of tissue and all that. And I'm kind of excited to see if she comes up with something. I like her patterns. I like her too. The little I know. Corn fusing. We can do this. South Bank sweater, Nina Lee. We can slip this one in between a couple of companies too. So we'll put these like that. And then we'll put this one. Yeah, that's true, Allison. I actually thought about that too, and I watched all those. Deer and Doe. Alright, see, it's already breaking it up a little bit by putting different colors. I don't know if you can see that, but... Okay, so let's do some name. We'll do a different color. So do you guys have big Friday plans going out in the town? I know, it's just a joke. You know, Penny, that is my... I don't know if that's what your reasoning is for finding it hard to watch that, but my mom said, I cannot watch that show. That reminds me way too much of that era and the negatives of it. And it's true. I feel like it kind of glamorized that, and I didn't really like that. Ooh, it's looking good. Wait, what did Walter say? Whoa. Who watched? Why did you say something about Mad Men? Is Alexis Bledel Rory Gilmore? Because she is in the Hulu series. Oh my gosh. Based on the famous book. A Goodbye Deck Party. Oh, cool. You're trying to skip. You're gonna skip work. Oh my gosh, that is expensive. Let's do some green. This is Francis. Just ignore my terrible writing. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, she's in, I want to say Scarlet Letter, but it's not Scarlet Letter. You guys all know the famous Hulu series. It's really good. It was extremely disturbing when it first starts. It kind of gets better once you start understanding, like you start knowing all the characters and their world. I mean, it's not better for the world, but at least it's less stressful. God, what the heck is it? One of you will say it in a second. What do you get? You get a yellow one. I chose these colors because it's a pastel rainbow, so you could still see, I could write over it and you could still see what I wrote. Handmaid's Tale. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, okay. Oh, she's in Mad Men? I didn't know that. Her character is so heartbreaking in Handmaid's Tale. Oh, nice, Nancy. Your Biden check. Gathering apron. You deserve it. So Liber. Walter is the voice of reason. I like it. Grain Line. Grain Line already does a bunch of pastel. Look at that. They started it. Maybe, yeah, we could do some purple for Grain Line. Do I really need to write the company name on there, you think? Over and over? I doubt it. Maybe I could let that go. Oh, I just did purple. I just did purple. Your son is hearing. My like Rayanne read that book and it sounds like it's quite different. Like the overall thing is, the gist is there, but I'm wearing this right now, the Willow tank. Okay, I can stop writing the name probably. Uniform tunic. I really will, when I'm looking for it, I'll be looking for the name of the garment, not the name of the business, right? Logic. I bought 2 new video games last night. I'm kind of excited about. That's what I'm doing tonight. And since I had the Thai iced tea, I'm set. I had so much trouble sleeping last night and I couldn't figure out why. I was just perfectly awake when I went to bed. I felt very alert. I would wake up a lot, and I realized it's because I had a iced tea with my lunch, a yerba mate, and I only had half of it. But oh boy, that is probably what kept me up. And the fact that I had this today, I can't resist this though. I love the Thai iced tea at this place. I love everything this Thai restaurant does. It's so they're so good. It's one of the best ones I've been to. Thank goodness we have good Thai food here. Brooke turned me on to eating Pad CU, so that's what I had. Oh, you haven't, Terry? There hasn't been one for a little while, right? Because I am caught up, and I think you should watch it. Watch. You haven't seen it? But you know what? It is hard, and it's not easy, but at the same time, the character development and the stories, they don't keep you in agony constantly. It's really good. Oh. Those there. Oh, we have a couple more. I watched another series recently, and it's probably been around for a while, and I didn't know about it. I think it's an AMC series called *Halt and Catch Fire*. I think I told you guys about it. It was really good. Kind of about how, you know, like when the internet was born, and just this like scrappy crew of internet or computer nerds, just how that all happened was so good. I really liked it. I've never made this. I don't really need to because we live in a town where Chico bag is. But this was free in one of my needle sharps. Too much tape. I gotta stop using so much tape. I don't have the whole Lakeside PJ. I actually have a set here though that I kind of want to, maybe I'll put them in here. See if I can find them quickly. Oh no, that's not good. Oh well. I have a set of these sewn in this really cute otter fabric here, and they just weren't for me. I don't wear shorts to bed, and the top was just a little too short. I don't know. I thought I'd bring them here and use the fabric because it was this cute sea otter print. All right. I still have a lot here. Let's do this pink because I think of pink when I think of this pattern. It'll help identify it. You got through 5 minutes. I understand that. Like, that is... I can see that. You gotta at least stay till like a little bit of sweet justice, and then you put it away. You know what I mean? End on one of those notes. I'm gonna write the name of this on here. The new name. That'll help me remember and call it by its proper name if I ever want to talk about it again. What are you guys watching these days that you really like? I just started a series on Netflix and it's dubbed. Oh, called The Heist. It's actually really good. And because it's dubbed, I can sit there and sketch on my iPad. It doesn't really matter as much if I'm watching. You can't get through that one, Sydney? I've watched all that. That one's a little over the top, kind of everything ends on a happy note, but there is definitely tragedy in that. But you know what I mean? Like, it definitely feels like they're sugarcoating a lot of that era as well. But I really like that one just because of the feel-good thing of it. Ooh, it's looking so good. I want to take a picture and show you guys. Yeah. What do you think? Looks pretty good. Yeah, I do too, Nancy. I was kind of like, oh, I don't know about this. And I kind of just had run out of things to watch, I think, at the time. Oh, I think of Pink when I think of Megan Nielsen. And I'm so glad. I love the character development. And I love stories that really show you all sides of a character. You just started Outlander. Okay, see, now that's one I can't get through. There's a little too much bodice ripping in that. I'm gonna blush saying it because it's not like I don't really like. I just don't like romance. And my mom, I've told you guys how much of a fan my mom is of Outlander. Like, what was it? 20 years ago, you know, we went to the UK and did this big trip, and everything my mom looked at. This was way before the hype of Outlander. There weren't even as many books out 20 years ago. And, you know, she was so into it. I thought these were real people. She was so into it. So, you know, and then I started, you know, my mom's also a retired nurse, so I can see the appeal, you know. But, I was like, oh, I don't know. And I can't listen to them. I couldn't listen to them out loud as an audiobook because there's a lot of sex in those. You know, and my mom and dad, I was telling them this the other day, I was like, all right, I'm just going to come clean. I haven't finished all the books. I've gotten through the second book of them in America. Sorry, was it right? Exactly, Sydney. Okay, so is it, and my parents said, oh, it calms way down in the second season. I didn't watch the second season. Oh, really, Kate? That's awesome. Yeah, Nancy, me too. New Amsterdam. Oh, what's that about? I love The Crown. I watched that twice. You're listening to role-playing game. Like Critical Role, Walter? Oh, that's a podcast. You're saying you listen to podcasts. There's a Twitch channel called Critical Role that is really amazing. Nancy. Oh, that's so funny, Allison. Is that your comfort show that you put on in the background? I love it. Wait, we've done these and we did the pants. Oh, they're probably on the rack. That's why. Yeah, it's I never even got to tell you guys all the things I did for my mom's birthday. So my dad was like, so it was her 70th, and my dad was like, I want to do an Outlander theme. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. Like, do you think she'd really like that? She really loves Outlander. Like, she still really loves it. I like her cars. Her first car was named Sassenach, and her car now is named another character. It's a little more violent. Yeah, exactly, Penny, about Bridgerton. I like Bridgerton, though, for the most part. But, oh, loosely based on a memoir by a doctor from Bellevue. Oh, New Amsterdam. I'm going to try to remember that. I don't know. Nope, not for you, Nancy. Yeah, I think the historical community was massive eye-rolling Bridgerton. They were not impressed. Apparently the costume inaccuracies in that show were pretty terrible. I'm going to do blue for Sonia here. Did you watch it through, Terry? There were a lot of things I liked about it, you know. Thought it was pretty... It was definitely... See, my thing is I don't like manipulative shows. And I've said this before. And, like, so I just started watching Blacklist by accident. And I was like, oh, this is pretty good. By the 3/4 of the way through, I'm like, oh, this is manipulative. Meaning they will manipulate you, the watcher, or they manipulate the story in order to keep it drama-seeking. And I don't like that. Like Grey's Anatomy, I had to let that go early on. I was like, no, this is too manipulative. That's where I get a little cynical. And I like a little bit's fine. Like even the heist. At first I was like, oh, this is kind of drama llama, you know, like after the second episode, they're just continuing the drama. But then they added some twists and turns, and I was like, okay, twists and turns are fine, you know. The other thing I don't like is rooting for bad guys, like The Sopranos. I really liked it. I loved the character development. Thought it was a really good show. But after a while, I was like, I am having a hard time rooting for people that do the things they do, you know? I'm such a goody two-shoes sometimes. Yeah, and like in the heist, I'm actually right now, I'm not actually polling for the protagonist. I'm polling for the victims, which is really weird because they want you to be polling for these people pulling off this heist. And I'm like, I'm kind of not, I didn't even realize it. I'm just not sympathetic towards them. You did watch all of them. Yeah, I mean, it was fine. I really liked, you know, the whole, I liked the kind of the cameos in it, and, you know, I don't know, it was fine. I love The Crown, though, but that's another one I'm like, is this real? Is this real? And I have to be honest, I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for the royal family. I kind of am like, why is there this royal family? I don't get it at all. They're basically, I don't know, I don't get it, but I'm not British, so I don't really have a right to, I guess, weigh in on that. So maybe I've just, you know, I've never lived in a world where I have a king and queen. You never went to class because you watched it? You don't like superhero? Yes. Okay, did you watch, are you watching that Amazon series? Wait, is it Amazon? We don't have Amazon Prime. But maybe we did when we watched it. What's that? The Boys, Walter? You're still watching Grey's? You guys have to finish. Oh, Meredith's about to bite the dust. What do you mean, Terry? Is she dying or something? Bite the dust? That's a little harsh. Tradition. Oh, did someone follow? I'm sorry if I didn't welcome you, if you are new to subscribing. My alerts are broken. Australia's the Commonwealth. Exactly. Oh gosh, just the... Yeah. The amount that they lay rain to. Oh, I'd like to see WandaVision, but I don't have that. You do. Oh, for the boys, Walter. But the whole point of that series is to take down these superheroes that are villains. So it's actually quite good, but it's very graphic. So if you don't like violence or anything like that, it is pretty... You think man is out to die. So you're like, yeah, I'm down for that. Terry. She's the one like on the cover of all the things, right? Oh, that's cool, Nancy. What am I doing? Pinnacle top. Am I doing blue for this? Right, these are so similar. So don't pick it up. Let's do green. We haven't done green in a bit, Nancy. Do them on trial. I feel like I've did that on something. Pinnacle top and bowline sweater. I still love looking at the cover of this pattern and her expression. Will it focus? Her expression is so, like, she's just like, And I'm sure it's because she probably really doesn't look like that, but there's something about maybe the quality of the printing or something, but her expression cracks me up every time. She's really cute, but her expression is, I love it. There's this one character I like playing in a game, and all the characters are from different countries around the world. They're like it's an international squad, and each character has abilities. And one of the ones I like playing as, I think he's Russian, but the way he says things, I giggle out loud every time he says something. And my friend knows, oh, you picked Dima, didn't you? Yeah, he cracks me up. I don't think he's supposed to make me laugh. He just makes me laugh. Oh, I'd love to watch Picard and Discovery. You'll check out The Boys? Yeah, check it out. Watch 1 or 2. I would watch 1 or 2, but my husband instantly was like, oh, he really liked it. And he was like, let's finish this. So, and that's rare that we'll both really like something anymore. Like, we like each other's things, but not like that. And we would watch it during the day. Little guilty pleasures. Okay, what have I got lurking over here? Oh, I have these 3 here. I think these are all ones I haven't printed out. They're all PDFs. This isn't all my PDFs that I haven't printed out, but I am going to make a list, you know? You don't have to print them all out. And I get patterns I did it by myself, you know, so I don't feel obligated to print those out. Is Lucifer the one with Idris Elba? Because I love him. Yeah, I totally agree, Kate. It is very graphic. Like the first couple of times I was like, oh, okay. But it's not graphic in a way that's like it's not unsettling violence, you know. It's just like glorified, you know, a little bit, and kind of over the top. And I think it's the type of, I don't know anything about filming movies, but I know certain types of film and whatever, and the way they film things can make it seem a little more like that. Yeah, exactly, Walter. I really love the kid you follow, who is, by the way, Gold is not Goldie Hawn. Oh shoot, who is Sleepless in Seattle? Meg. Wait, right? Her son. He's the protagonist. I'm terrible with names. I told you guys. Oh, it's the same creator, Allison. Oh, that's Luther with Mr. Elba. Oh, okay, Lucifer. No, because it looks like he's naked in it. And I'm like, oh, it's a sex thing. Is he not? Like, I don't have anything against it. It's just not something I really like. I feel like that's a little drama seeking. I'm like, It's terrible. It's dumb, I know. Moneta. This, I've made so many of this dress. Hoo boy. Meg Ryan. Hey, I got the first half right. Yeah, Meg Ryan, and I can picture her husband. I'm writing a name right now, so I don't want to write one of their names. Their son is the main kid in The Boys. But yeah, I will admit, like, the main villain in that, I really despise. They did a really good job. Oh, and you know who's in that? Is the girl from Adventures in Babysitting. And that was really, Jack Quaid, thank you. That was such a treat to see her. I haven't seen her in so long, because I know she's got a pretty extreme camera shyness. But I really like her. He's shirtless on the front cover. So, see, for me, I'm like, okay, they're looking for that kind of audience. It's fine, but I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not. See, look how bulky this is. Who asked me that? Was it Penny? Look how bulky this is. If I cut this up, you know, it would be so much less bulky. And I thought I had a cover for this one, but I don't. I'm sure I do. It just didn't make it in here. It's probably in another one of these. What color am I doing these? Okay. I don't even know what this is. Is it a short? Are you talking about the guy in The Boys? He is a gem. So is Idris Elba, though. I could watch him in anything. I'm lumping my colette and seam work all together. I was just thinking today how I'm kind of disappointed that, I'm going to save half of that. There's so many different, like, services now to watch things that I can't see everything. And I was like, maybe someday someone will come up with a subscription service where you can get all of those subscription services for one price and package, and you don't have like 8 or 9 billing things. And then I was like, yeah, that's cable, but it's not the same anymore, right? It would go back to, oh, here's all my colette right here. Elizabeth Shue. Oh, you guys are so good. Oh, Condor. I feel like I heard of that. Okay, now you've given me two, Kate. New Amsterdam and Condor. Oh, really, Walter? Aw. That's awesome. Oh, the Witcher series was really good. That has Max Irons, who is the son of Jeremy Irons and Sinead Cusack. And is the Cusack one of the, like, related to Joan and John? That has Max Irons in Witcher. I have to be honest, like, for years, I wasn't watching any kind of TV. I pretty much only watched PBS. I have Roku and PBS app, and that was enough for me. I didn't have cable. My husband did downstairs, but I have a little TV upstairs. And so I wasn't really up to date on it. And I'm trying to get more up to date on it. I've watched a lot of Netflix this past year. Less gaming, more Netflix. Especially now that I'm kind of into my iPad and drawing. Cable is so expensive, exactly. We have Dish or DirecTV. I don't know which one we have. Oh, I do like Spy Goodness. Yeah. Hawthorne. No relation. Okay. I figured not. This is my opportunity then to plug the second book in the series Ready Player One, which is called Ready Player Two. Because that reminds me of it. I'm pretty sure they make an appearance in it. It's really good. Dahlia, Hazel. This skirt on this is I was gonna say a dirndl skirt. Pretty sure that's the pattern drafting term for it. So it's very odd when you first wear it. So in other words, there's all these gathers at the top of the skirt, but that same fullness at the top, at the waist, is not at the hem. Cable Girls. I don't know what that is. Is that a show? So, you know, if you wanted a dress where you're not using as much fabric for a skirt, or you don't want all that fullness, maybe it's a heavier fabric, this is a good pattern. And people don't utilize that kind of skirt pattern drafting very often. And it is kind of weird to wear. Like, it feels different. Oh, it's only 20 up. Oh, I like those limited series too. Is that why you say that? Because I do too. Unless it's really, really good, right? Then you don't want it to ever end. I really liked Halt and Catch Fire. I highly recommend it. It was really good. It really surprised me, and there was a lot of episodes of that. I think 4 seasons maybe. And I just couldn't wait to watch it. It was so good. And I really liked how it kind of morphed and grew. Are these getting bulkier? Oh, it's a show on Netflix. Cable Girls. I haven't heard of that one. I'm always surprised what Netflix thinks I'm gonna like. What is this? Is okay. Daisy Dress. Who is Daisy? Is Poppy and Jazz? Is that Tilly and the Buttons? No, right? This is a tracing. So who was recommending Lucifer? Is that a good show then? Oh, you like, yeah. Good level bingeable, yeah. Okay, there was another one with this. Where is it? There's like 3, right? The Elm t-shirt. There's another one of those. Folklore, bomber. I don't think I'm even gonna, I don't want to keep some of these. I actually did all this work for this one designer, fabric designer, and they didn't pay me. So annoying. So every time I see it, I'm a little annoyed, you know? There they are. There they are. Oh, see you later, Sydney. You taken off? Oh, Dairy Girls. Oh, I loved Sex Education. I know I said I don't like all that other, like kind of the bodice ripping stuff, but Sex Education, that's one of my favorite shows on Netflix. So good. Love that one. See it. Have a good weekend and have a good goodbye deck party, Sydney. What time is it? I told my husband I'd probably be done at 5:30, and it's 10 to 6. Oh my gosh. Okay. We'll do a few more. Poppy and Jazz. That didn't really fit. Oops. This is just my first trial. I'm using these labels that I should have just tossed a long time ago because I never needed them past this project. Elm t-shirt. Dang, the point just does not last long enough on a Sharpie. I need to move on from blue too. Sheesh. Let's do some more green. You guys have any weekend plans? Elizabeth Shannon apron. She has really long names. Thea Rochelle Raglan. I love this gal's pattern so much, but the armhole, I'm finding there's no ease in the sleeve, and the armholes are kind of funny for me, but they look really cute on her. I think I'm just built very differently. Shift, not shirt, but shift. This goes on that one there. Okay. I shouldn't say girl, this woman's patterns. She's really nice. And I think it was Beverly saying something about doing like a cross back apron. And this one is like that. You can do this. It's not cross back, but it's layered back there. I didn't do it that way, and I just made like an overall dress with mine, like one of the views, and I love wearing that on the weekends to do chores in it. It's great. Comfortable, and I don't really worry about it. I've had such a productive week. I'm so glad to be in this space. I really like it here. We're still in women's wear. Let's do this one here. I'll do this one in pink because I think of Hey June as being pink. Getting there, getting there, getting there. Oh, hi Cyro, how's it going? Clara leggings and Harper cardigan. I think I've heard of the duster. Okay, that one's not very functional. What's some of these? Cozy slippers and underwears. Maybe I'll try and this has a split down the middle of it. I picked the worst label of the bunch here. There's a lot of label left on there. The other one's even worse. I'll keep that. It's got, see, it's got a split there. We got this. We got this. Kind of. It'll be okay. All right. There we go. Did we remember what Poppy and Jazz? Is that Tilly and the Buttons? This is the only Tilly and the Buttons I've ever sewn. Oh, geez. Okay. Because I could have had a underwear section, you know? Since we went through that phase. I went through that phase for like 2 weeks. It wasn't very long, was it? How about this blue? I don't think I've used any of this. Bravo bottoms. And of course I did these in the same color. Oh well. I tried on the dress we're making. And it actually fit pretty darn good. I was kind of surprised. It fits better than my dress form. Oh, so over it. Hi, Noemi. Hi, Deb. You guys both. So over it is Poppy and Jazz. That's it. Thank you. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That sounds familiar now. This is my sagebrush hack, but it's not the actual pattern. I have the actual pattern, but I think it's hanging on the rack. And we've got Gertrude. Where would we be without a Gertrude? Have you guys ever seen the rack of these patterns at a fabric store? Like, I think I just walked by it like several times. And when I saw the guinea pig, I was like, oh, yeah, my mom loves guinea pigs, so that's why I did it. And she was with me, so she picked out the fabrics. I was looking at that rack. I was like, holy moly, there's a ton of animals on there. Do you have a person in your life who likes a particular animal? All right. That's the light blue. This one right here. It's another Colette. Wow, that's an athletic sandwich. Oh, so this isn't clothing though. I'm going to put this down at the bottom here. So maybe, I mean, that'll work for, because I don't want to like do underwear at a different like height and label, because some companies do all different kinds of things, right? But then I have the port side duffel, so am I going to put that in the bag section? This is getting kind of tricky with, so maybe I'm not going to do styles. Maybe I'll do men's. Sorry. Oh, the salad spinner. Dang, yours is more athletic than mine. I just pull a cord on mine. All right, so I am getting there with the let's see, let's put this from between here. It's looking good. Oh, and you know, someone asked me on Instagram about my fabric cubes, so I'm just going to show you guys that just so that there's kind of a, not cube, but they're drawers, just so you can see that. So I ended up getting these bins, and they kind of act like rudimentary drawers, and they do stack, and they fold flat too. So when you take them apart, you just unsnap everything. Put it under the camera a little more. They actually come apart a little too easy. See that? And there's just a little clip here at the front. Same with the back. And that's what I'm doing. This way I can kind of slide the fabric drawer. I can pull one out, they sit on top, they slide a little easy. So, I'm getting a tickle. So, that's how those work. They're not the most sophisticated thing, but they're very sturdy. I really like them. You could probably glue them so they wouldn't come apart. But, they're geared towards closet organizing, and they sell them in packs of 4. And they do fold flat like this. So if you don't always need them. And I got those because I was having so much trouble finding bins that would fit those shelves. Because all of my bins, I don't want to use these, you know, this thing. Putting my fabric in these just didn't work. They were just too tall. The fabric would just sit at this height, and it was all this wasted space. And I needed it also to be as deep as the shelf. So that's why I used those. So I think you got to figure out what works for your shelves. And a lot of people will store their fabric in tubs. And I don't. I have mine on all out because I have that luxury here. So it just depends. Like my yarn is a little more sealed up because of moth preventative, you know, stuff. But and it's also all far away from the windows so that they don't get faded. Because that's a big deal. I used to have one studio where 3 walls were windows, and I had to fully cover all my fabric in there. Because even just a few days, you know, or like a week or two, you'd start noticing that fade on the folds. And then the other thing you can do if you're worried, if you're in a really sunny studio, if you have bolts or folded fabric, put the selvages out, not the folds out. So, because then you're gonna get a lot less fading from the sun because it's not the fold pointing out. It looks nicer with the fold out, but you want to preserve your fabric because that you can't come back from a fold on the crease. There's not coming back from that. So that's how I'm doing those, and I'll probably do a stream on how I'm organizing my fabric. But essentially, what I do is all of these up here are like the newest fabrics I've bought. They're the ones that I'm going to be probably most excited to use. They're more geared towards what I'm sewing, which is garments. and they're not touched. They may be touched a tiny bit, like I may have taken a little piece off of it for something, but they're pretty much untouched, and they're hopefully all washed. And then I have them organized by type. So like that's all the yarn dye right here. These are all those napkins I got. This is yardage, all woven. This is heavier weight yardage. Knits and knits. And below that is also half kind of unused fabric, but by different categories. And they're mostly things like I have to fill in here and there. Like, oh, I like, if I see a good print, I just kind of I buy it and have it on hand because it might make good binding or pockets. Or there's something about it that's kind of cool. So I do buy some of that. I have 2 bins over there that are, I don't even know if you can see them, but they're just solids. What I consider solid, so they're not technically solids, but they're in a rainbow, so that's kind of, I keep all those together, and linens in one bin too. So, and then after that, everything at the bottom is all my heavyweight fabrics, twills, canvases, denim, and that's where all my bag making and jean making stuff is. And then everything over there is scraps, so I have bins and they're organized by fabric color. So, and I have probably 5 of these bins, all scrap fabric from projects I've sewn, and I keep them just in case maybe I need to repair something, make pockets, maybe it would work well for something, and it's just enough that I don't want to get rid of it. But it is technically it's scrap fabric, but it's garment fabric. So those are the bins that haunt me. So that's kind of my little synopsis of how I do my fabrics. And I don't tag them or anything, but I do have a bin where I keep the receipts, and I can see. If you ever order from somewhere like Blackbird, they tag your fabric with this beautiful tag that says a lot about it, like what it is, what its content is. It might even have washing instructions. It's pretty amazing. I'm trying to think if I have one of those handy. I'm trying to think where those are. I have put them all somewhere. I'm still getting used to where I put things, so I can't find things all the time. But it's somewhere really close by. I wish I had one to show you. But that's pretty cool if you ever order from them. I haven't ordered them for a while, but yeah, that's great, Noemi. I think that's a great use for that. You know, I just made myself, I had a quilt top that I finished the other day, and I put in batting that I pieced together. And then I put 2 layers of twill that I don't want to use in projects. So it gave it, and it is heavy. I love it. And it's just a small little lap quilt. And then I pieced flannel on the back from shirts that I'd made me, Michael, and Cricket. So it's definitely scrappy. I love it. Perfect for sitting at night. I don't know where I think I know where a lot of our little blankets and things have gone. I think my daughter, like, something will happen to it and she doesn't want to have to fix it or wash it or whatever, and she would throw it away a long time ago, you know, like, instead of dealing with it. Towels, we used to have all these scrap towels. We have 1 now. Oh, that's great, Nancy. Yeah, and I feel like I don't want it to ever grow past this, so I just kind of keep it to this. I got rid of a fair bit at the old place, but I didn't really get rid of that much. I got rid of rolls of fabric that were just left over from chicken boots. I just finally was like, I'm just gonna find a home for these because it's just good yardage, like really good yardage, and I just had used it as much as I could. I just couldn't use it anymore, you know. So, all right, well, I'm gonna head out. Have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for hanging out with me. Kind of a chill stream. I'll be here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific sewing the Decades of Style 1940s New England dress. It's coming out really good, so that's exciting. I forgot I probably need to set up my machine, so I'll probably get up here a little early. So anyway, have a great weekend, you guys. I don't know where my mouse is. Here it is. And I will see you guys tomorrow, some of you. Otherwise, happy sewing, and have a good one. Bye.